welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be a general reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the period of June the 1st to the 15th. Now, we're going to start with the Storyteller Oracle cards to see what the primary story is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising for June, first half of June. What is going to be the story for Virgos? Thank you. Bearing in mind that there's always free will, right? We have choice in everything. So if this doesn't resonate for you, don't force it, but take what you can and leave the rest. Okay, what's going on for my Virgo friends? Thank you for the beginning of June. All right, let's get these cards in order. I don't know why, but I have the word resistance in my head. Why? Are you resisting something, Virgo? I have the phrase resistance is futile in my head. Why do I have that in my head, Virgo? What's going on? Okay. What's the first card in this story? What's the first card? Thank you. Okay, so my Virgo friends, let's begin. You are in union or unity with your belief systems. You see integration. This is good. You see, this card is like the opposite of separation. So you're not polarized. You're seeing the duality of things. You're not seeing things as being polarized and not together. You're seeing how things are making connections. You see the relevancy, the relatability of events. You're starting to understand synchronicity potentially. You're starting to look at things a little bit differently, okay? But there's an element of control here. So as you're sort of starting to understand the connectivity between everything, literally, you're starting to feel this control. So you might be coming upon feelings of wanting to control the process about something, and then sort of seeing that everything is connected, and yet you can't really control something, but you're sure trying to here, Virgo. Yeah, and you're worried about something. Something is keeping you up. There's a shadow element of your personality shining through. This card always makes me think that your inner child is afraid of something. Your inner child is afraid of some outcome. Your inner child is afraid of an experience happening again, a similar outcome. There's something you're afraid of, and as a result, you're trying to control the process. But it's interesting. It's almost making me think that unity popped up here because it could have something to do with the union you're in. Let's keep looking. Interesting. Okay, so we see the false card here, which says to me that something is not true. Okay, there's something surrounding you, Virgo, that's false. There's a falsehood around you, somewhere around you, and maybe that's what's causing this dynamic here. Very interesting. Let's keep going. There's something that has to be let go of because it's false. Something's got to go because it's not authentic. Oh, maybe you need to speak about something too. But didn't I say resistance in the beginning? Yeah, resistance. You don't want to let go. You don't want to believe it's false. You want to stay in unity, and you don't want to be afraid, but it is what it is. You feel it. You feel it on an intuitive level. You feel it on an empathic level that this is false. You're sitting in some sort of a false situation, my Virgos, and you feel some regret. Why do you feel regret? Maybe are you being hard on yourself, or what's going on here? Are you being hard on yourself? Are you trying to control something? Do you regret actions not taken or actions taken? I wonder here. Okay, there is some, yeah, I had to clear my throat. There's something you need to speak about. Okay, there is some talking that needs to happen, maybe with the individual in this union, maybe this situation that's false that needs to be let go of. There needs to be a proclamation first. Interesting. Yeah, you're polarized, like I was saying here. So you're in a union and you don't feel connected to it, okay? You don't feel connected to it because there's something false about it that needs to be spoken about. You're trying to control it, and you have regret about something. You have regret about something to do with this union, and maybe you're separated from this person right now. Maybe you're in union and you've been separated from this person, and you're trying to control the situation. You feel bad about the past, and you're really afraid. Maybe you're really afraid that this is false and that it will have to go. Oh, Virgo. Let's see what else is going on here. There are no shortcuts. You got the shortcuts card. We haven't seen this card in a while. This suggests that on the path that you're walking right now, you're looking for a shortcut because you feel regret and scared. So that makes sense. You're looking for an exit. You're looking for a way to escape potentially and not be mindful of what's going on in this false, inauthentic situation that must be spoken about. Letting go. Resistance is futile, guys. You can't resist what you're here for. I mean, you can. We talked about this. Oh, sorry, maybe that was in a different video about free will. And I suppose you can keep resisting things. It's just that it'll just keep coming up until you deal with it, right? So some things are inescapable, okay? We see the sacral chakra card come up, which is the I feel, the I create. These are your emotions, your creativity, your sensuality. It's your alchemic bowl area, if you will. So there is something within you that's very creative. And I'm wondering if it's being affected by this dynamic that you're in here, Virgo. Yeah, it does. It has to do with some collaboration. There's a partnership or a relationship, a union, or maybe just a partnership in work or a friendship or something that is a part of this loop. Okay, so the union card or the unity card we saw in the very beginning. Oh, that's let go. Here it is. I think these two cards are telling us that it's a relationship that is false. There's a false. Either the relationship is false or there is something inauthentic that needs to be let go of within the relationship that you're desperately trying to control. And you feel regretful. So there's a past action here, maybe. This has been going on for a while, potentially, and some fear. This may have brought out something in your shadow to show you something about yourself, Virgo, something to learn. Now we see the masculine energy card come up here, the yang energy. So that is, as far as tarot goes, that would be the wand and the sword energy. So we're talking about will and mental clarity, okay? So that's where you are being directed to, is to look to your fire, your will, your intuition, which would be all wand energy. And then for your swords, we're looking to the true self. We're looking for mental clarity, reason. We're looking at intellect, discernment, problem solving. We are looking here for that masculine energy to help us in this timeline, and some compassion. So you may have to be compassionate with this false situation and with yourself, right? Virgo, you can't sit in regret forever. I mean, you can, but it's not going to serve you to stay in regret. We need you to be compassionate towards yourself. And you do have an inspiration here. You're feeling inspired. It's like your intuition is telling you so much, right now about this inauthentic situation, as well as it's inspiring you to create something. So it's very interesting, Virgo. We see the earth energy card come up, which is yours. You are earth energy, Virgo. And so again, this is now the feminine energy. So we're looking at pentacles and cups for as far as the tarot cards go. And that would connect you to emotion and to feeling secure and feeling that path that leads you to connect with the earth, okay? In the sense that you're secure, you're grounded, and you belong, and you understand that you can manifest whatever you need. So you're being asked to balance the masculine and feminine energies, because we saw the masculine energy card and now we see the earth, which is feminine, which is interesting because you're being asked to balance and you're feeling quite polarized. We saw that card come up. I think it's this one. Yeah, there it is. So it's like you're of two minds of something here, Virgo. You feel bound and trapped. Yeah, of course you do. Because if you're feeling like you have to control everything, you're the one tying your hands together, right? And you feel trapped. You feel trapped and regretful and anxious about things. Oh boy. Okay, let's see what the tarot cards say for you, Virgo. This is an interesting storyline about something false. Keep that in mind, that if this is resonating for you, that there could be a relationship in your life that is not as authentic as it appears. Okay, let's see. What messages do we have for Virgo as they are going through a timeline with a union potentially that's not authentic? They're feeling like they need to control it. Okay, yeah, Hangman. So you may need to sacrifice something for your greater good. You may need to trust that everything that's happening is happening to help you understand who you are in different situations and different experiences, and that we're always being pushed to this place where we see the truth, right? And so certain things happen to us along our life plan here while we're on Earth that we don't understand, and we feel suffering and we feel pain. But see how he is trusting. This card's in reverse right now. It usually looks like this. So this is challenging you right now, Virgo. You're feeling challenged to understand that in life, sometimes we must sacrifice things for new things to come in, things that are more aligned with who we are and what we're here to do. And we need to just chill out and allow this process to happen. But this is challenging you right now, Virgo. You're feeling challenged to do that right now, okay? Now, what is the challenge? Why is Virgo challenged? Thank you. Oh, Magician in reverse. So we got Hangman in reverse and then the Magician in reverse, crossing it, creating the obstacle. So it looks like you're having a difficult time with your manifestation, or maybe what you're putting out there is actually bringing you more of what you don't want, because the correspondence to the universe could be statements like that aren't positive. You could be focusing on everything that's going wrong instead of being grateful for things that are going well, and finding inner joy instead of relying on the external world for joy. So when the Magician card is upright, that suggests that we are manifesting positively. See, wand in the hand, as above so below, the other hand is pointing down. And so when it's inverted like that, when it's reversed, that suggests that the manifesting qualities are challenged. And so as a result, you would be feeling like the universe is bringing you what you don't want, right? The universe is serving you up experiences that you don't want, but you're focusing on them, so you're getting more of them, right? And as a result, that's challenging you to trust the process, because you're not, putting it simply, you're not getting what you want right now, Virgo. But I feel guided to say that you need to change that inner storyline before anything is going to change. Now, as I was flipping the cards over, we got two that came out. The Devil. The Devil's on your mind. This is a Capricorn energy, so it's still Earth, like you, Virgo. But the Capricorn card upright, or the Devil card upright suggests that you're focused on your ego right now. You're not focusing on spirituality. You could be trying to escape from the world in the way of spirit through the ego and through desires, and maybe through sometimes this card could suggest addiction, okay? That you're using something to try and sort of avoid or displace or numb yourself a bit here. And it looks like you got two cards here at once, and you got the Five of Wands next to it, which is a time of struggle. It's a time of struggle where you must be leveling up, because there is a situation. This card is always like this five is a truth bomb, right? So in this truth bomb, there is a struggle where we need to now pay more attention to our surroundings, because again, you did see here that something is false. Okay, there is something inauthentic around you, Virgo, and this fear that it's causing and this feeling of being trapped and regret and all of these shadow things have to be let go of. Because if not, this Magician in reverse could be bringing you and serving you experiences just to prove you right. The spirit always has to prove us right. So if we believe we are not enough, or if we believe we don't deserve and we believe we're not worthy, the universe has to send us experiences that validate that. And so when the Magician's in reverse, it can also suggest a time where maybe you're, I hate to say it, Virgo, don't shoot the messenger, but that it's almost like ill will, right? Like it's not as above, so below. It's become something else now. So we need to change that. We need to change that dynamic. And this could be happening. Let's find out what's at the bottom of this. What's at the root of the issue here? What's at the bottom line for Virgo? What's at the bottom line for Virgo here? What's the bottom line for Virgo, please? Thank you. Queen of Swords. So this is a very strong energy for Libra. Okay, so my Virgo, if you have a placement in Libra, you could be trying to, when you look at this situation, you're not being flexible. The Queen of Swords is a lot of things, but she's not flexible. She's not movable. She is not someone you're going to convince of something else. Okay, so if this is at the end of the day how you're approaching things, by one side where you've got very high ideals, you're very strong, and you're unswayable and unmovable, and your conviction in yourself is quite high, then having a new idea about your circumstance might be challenging for you, right? Because it's almost like you've only got one perspective. You've got a perspective and you're holding it very strong. Like I said, the Queen of Swords is a lot of things that are amazing, but maybe one of the characteristics that is tricky is that she's not flexible. Look at her. She doesn't look flexible. She's not flexible. She's a Libra. It's right or wrong. It's black and white. This or that. And right now your life doesn't fit into that picture. So you could be trying to escape through pleasures of the ego and not finding them, or finding them and not being fulfilled by them anymore, or trying to escape. I keep thinking maybe you're trying to escape because it's getting like the conflicts in your mind are growing, right? You're trying to pay attention to your inspiration here, Wands, but it's like the messages are hurting you. The messages you're sending yourself are hurting you, Virgo. Interesting. Okay, what are the recent past influences? Thank you. So it looks like your union. Wow, something's going on with your relationship here. In the past, or this might not just be your relationship, but in the past, you had a very solid commitment and contentment, a permanency in the realm of emotion. So it looks like in the past, things were really good. Things were really good. So maybe COVID has really changed your life. It's changed everyone's life. And I did start this reading by saying that the word resistance kept popping up in my mind. Perhaps you are resisting the new world because you can't accept sacrificing whatever you've had to sacrifice. Maybe you had to sacrifice more than others, or maybe the sacrifice the thing that had to get sacrificed was very, very meaningful for you. You had attached a lot of meaning to whatever that was, and now that you can't do it or it's gone, you feel really down. Well, the good news is in the future, the upcoming future influences, we see the King of Pentacles upright. So that's good. This is Midas. This is King Midas. He has a lot of self-confidence, and he knows exactly how to face challenges from the physical world. He has the Midas touch, as we know. So very, very skilled in manifesting things. He knows how to do the work that creates inner movement. So changing that storyline in the mind, changing how you feel. You're basically changing your vibration when you're the King of Pentacles, right? And that's beautiful to see for you, Virgo, because it looks like the past was good, but the present is challenging you big time. You're having a really tough time in this present timeline, but trust me, it's because you're not being flexible. We need to be open to accepting sacrifice even when we don't like it, right? And any delays in that, I think, are going to keep you here in this timeline. Before you can move into the King of Pentacles, you're going to have to accept some of these things that need to be sacrificed. You're going to have to change your mental perception, right? Sword, mental perception of the situation. Wow. Okay, so what is the inner storyline? What is my Virgo telling themselves all the time? What is Virgo telling themselves all the time, please? Thank you. Ooh. Oh, okay. Well, oops. You got your card, my lovely Virgos. You got your Hermit card. It's time to go into solitude to understand the truths that have revealed themselves to you. And right now, this Hermit is upright, and it's where you're at mentally. So you're probably in isolation now, trying to figure this all out. Good for you. A lot of wisdom can be gained from that energy. It's a 9. The Hermit is a card of number 9, which is the end of a cycle. So what do we do at the end of a cycle? We reflect on that cycle to understand the wisdom and the truths that revealed themselves to us through our experience. And we have to do that in solitude by withdrawing from others to truly understand the self, right? So, and that is your card, Virgo. That is your card. So you are in the nest. Okay, so how do other people see you? Other people in the outer world are looking at you and seeing the Hierophant, but in reverse. So that suggests to me that at this time, the way you're coming across to the outer world is that you don't know what's up and you don't know what's down. You don't know what's true and you don't know what's false. You don't know what's real and what's an illusion. Yeah, when I see the Hierophant in reverse, it suggests that the deep universal truths are unknown to you at this time, and it's like your world's been flipped upside down with respect to spirituality. This is a card of the number 5, and 5 is a number of truth. So again, it's like you're facing truth in your present timeline, and it's really caused you to question everything. So you're doing that questioning on your own, or you need to be, okay, if you're not. Now, we see that you're worried. I see that. We see you're anxious. So let's see, what is Virgo worrying about and wishing for? Oh, okay. Worrying about and wishing for, you got 4 cards. Let me just put these here. Okay, so the first one that came out is the Ace of Swords in reverse, which suggests that you are resisting a mental shift. Just like we saw with the Queen of Swords, you are not being flexible, right? Resistance is futile. That was the thing in my head when I started this reading. So seeing the Ace of Swords in reverse is saying that you sense that there is an inner battle that must take place, but you're resisting it. You don't want to do it, right? You don't want to do it. You're resisting that. Now, I also see death in reverse, which suggests that, again, you're resisting the next phase of life. This timeline is not sustainable. Something is shifting, and it could be shifting in something that was very permanent in the past. Okay, something that you thought was, I don't know, like the ground beneath your feet, and now it's shifting, and you don't want to, you don't know what's true, what's false. That's how other people see you. You've gone into isolation. You're trying to figure it out, but you need to be flexible with your perceptions. The Ace of Swords in reverse suggests the beginning of a conflict, but that it's a mental conflict involving probably a choice of some kind, but that you're resisting that choice, okay? And then when we see death following that in reverse, that really does suggest that you're resisting your own rebirth, right? Like when a cycle ends and we start a new cycle. This is a number 8, this card, or sorry, 13. 8. I was looking at the X. This card is a number 8, and 8 is, again, about not being afraid of truth and taking action when you know the truth. So when we see the Death card upright, it suggests that you're going with this rebirth and that you're not resisting it, right? So you're still resisting all of this change here, Virgo. Now we see the 7 of Pentacles, also for what you're wishing for and hoping for. So it's like you're wishing and hoping for a new perspective and change, but you're resisting them. And then here we see the 7 of Pentacles is really a card of like, should I do this or not? Should I stay or should I go? Right? It's a time where you're sort of facing a difficult decision and you need to make a decision. So you have to, and you're resisting it, right? So you could have a choice to make here that you don't want to make, but you wish that it would get made. Wow. 3 very, very interesting cards to see in the reverse for you, Virgo. I think you're struggling right now to see past the way things are making you feel. Instead, we need to have sort of a perspective that we have no idea what lies on the other side of all of these changes, but resisting that is just going to make the process painful and more pushy. Like, if we resist, the universe has to keep pushing. And then if you resist, it has to push again. And so the one card you got upright for your wishes and fears, your hopes and fears, is the 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Wands. So the 6 of Wands is really a time of promotion, recognition, and public acknowledgement. So I think you want that. Maybe you had that. Maybe that's what this 10 was. That you had emotional support from the public, people in your life. You want that back. But you're afraid, I think, because it's going to be in a new context. This really makes me think, Virgo, that your life changed significantly in many ways as a result of the changes that are happening in our world right now. And it caught you off guard because you were really in a place where things were pretty permanent, right? Like you had set yourself up so that you would be able to sort of move forward doing your work, doing your inspiration, doing whatever it is that you do, uninterrupted and unfettered with worry, right? And now things have literally flipped you upside down, except you're resisting it, right? You're resisting. And you're not currently able to bring in what you're not attracting the experiences that you want. And it has to do with the correspondence you're sending out, the way you're thinking, the way you're talking, the way you're acting, the way everything you're doing is saying the opposite messages to this. And it's because of the focus on what's going wrong instead of believing that it's all part of it's all part of this story, right? It's all part of a story. In the future influences, we see the King of Pentacles. Like we said, this is Midas, King Midas. So I'm very hopeful for you in future influences, but I do see that you're wow, like a lot of resistance, Virgo. But you know what that tells me? If there's that much resistance, then this shadow element is real. Like there's something that's got you kind of terrified, and I don't think I use that word lightly right now. I think that's apt. You're scared. And you feel really trapped. You feel trapped. So the anxiety is a real thing for you right now, Virgo. What is the final outcome of this timeline for Virgo? Bearing in mind that free will is real. So we can always choose to participate or just keep doing whatever we want to do. So thank you. Final outcome is the Knight of Rods in reverse. So the Knight of Rods is a time where we develop, where we manifest new ideas, where we become a leader again, and where we are, liked and loved and very imaginative and intuitive. It's in reverse. So I think what this reading is telling you is that as long as you keep resisting and focusing on what's left, like what's gone, instead of what's remains, and this is on your mind. That is, yeah. And there's a truth. I feel like you're hiding out from truth right now, Virgo, and you're resisting it because you are the Queen of Swords. You're being very Libra right now with your approach. Okay, it's like there's only two sides, and as long as that continues, this Knight of Rods that could bring in a lot of new ideas and manifestation for you it's a challenge. It's a challenge for you if you don't take what you need to take out of this in terms of changing that inner dialogue. Changing that inner dialogue is going to be really critical for you. As I shuffled here, I see the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. So again, that suggests that it's going to be a new sense of security, Virgo. It's a new path forward for you. And you don't have to feel trapped and bound. It's almost like you are trapping and binding yourself with resistance. Resistance. The resistance needs to go. Oh boy. Okay, so let's see what are some of the words of encouragement we can get here for Virgo from the frequency oracle here. Okay, what frequency would be encouraging right now? What guidance can we give Virgo? Thank you. Oops. Synergy. So the frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. Wow, this is for you. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. Okay, so what that says to me, Virgo, is stop resisting. You've got to get on this synergy, right? I love the word synergy because it really does, listen to this message again. The frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance. So right away, allowance and acceptance is the opposite of resistance. Of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being, which is exactly what you need. You need to allow and accept these new ways so that you can go forward. It says here, it reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar. Embrace the unfamiliar. Don't be scared and resist it. Embrace it. Embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations can birth into a new reality. That could be your King of Pentacles right there. So it's a new sense of security for you. Okay, so you had in the past a 10 of Cups upright. In the future outcome, you have a 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So that says you're going to have a very new sense of stability in your life, Virgo. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. Just notice the time on the reading. If this reading has resonated for you and you would like a personal reading, my email is in the description below. And I'm sending you lots of love and light in this timeline, Virgo. And thank you for all your comments, watching, and subscribing of the channel. Okay, we'll see you again for the mid-June reading. Take care, everyone.